So you can't take us directly to Myth Drannor? I'm afraid not, no. There is a magic to this woodland that I've not been able to pierce, and there are too many enemies for me to have made it to the city alone. It is the reason why, when I saw you passing, that I suggested teaming up. We are better together than we are apart, after all. Indeed, and it's best to be cautious than to rush recklessly into danger, like you would have done if you'd have tried to make it there solo. I agree. You are very wise, Ishan. I haven't lived this long being foolish, that's for sure. We should probably use the medallion that you have, Valendra. We should. That is a powerful magic indeed that can make the woodland part for you. Perhaps we will be able to make it to Myth Drannor with that alone. That or an ever-burning torch that we found. I would prefer that you did not destroy the woodland with that. I agree. We don't want to draw the ire of the wood. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play the Eye of the Beholder 3, Assault on Myth Drannor, and when last we left off, here are Minotaurs trying to kill us, and Rune has gained a level. Rune is now level 12. Those Minotaurs are a foe that we have seen before. They were in Dungeon Hack. I imagine we're going to be seeing even more foes from Dungeon Hack before this game is done. I just hope that we don't see a few of the really dangerous ones, and we don't want to be here just in case we get surrounded. We don't want to get attacked from behind. What we do want to do, just as a Minotaur appears, is check our spells, because Rune can have some more. 1 4th level spell, Improved Invisibility, is a good idea. 1 5th level spell, a Wall of Force, is always useful. 1 6th level spell, Disintegrate, is what we want. Marvellous. When we rest, we're going to be that much more devastating. For now, we're going to let the Minotaur get closer and deal with it. And do a little bit more exploration. I like having another archer. We haven't had a decent archer since Eye of the Beholder 1. Unfortunately, archery has the drawback that we need to pick up all of the arrows that we use and put them back in our quiver. I don't think there is an auto pickup arrow feature in this game. Then again, there may be, and I just don't know about it. Let's cautiously move forward. So was it only Minotaurs that you encountered? I'm afraid there were more dangerous foes than even Minotaurs. I don't want to know what foes they are, but I do want to know how we're going to get out of here. Likely using the medallion some more. And seeing where we can go. Nowhere here, though. No. It would seem that we can't go this way. Then the way must be further back. Let's go back to where we were. This wasn't closed off before. Indeed it was not. Curious. Perhaps there's something over here. Give it a try. Well, that's gone. And that too. It is a powerful magic indeed. But not that powerful. We're missing something here. We're definitely missing something, but what are we missing? This has opened up into just a large open area of nothing. So we can go here. Ah! There you go. Progress. Be ready. Who knows what beasts we'll find beyond. Nothing so far. That doesn't mean to say there won't be nothing. Always a good idea to be very cautious. We haven't found anything yet, though. Oh dear, what is that? Whatever it is, it will fall. I hope it can fall faster. Ow, that thing hurts! It really hurts! What is that? I have never seen such a creature before. It defies all explanation. Can it defy all abilities to hit us? That hurt! Stand still. I will deal with this injury. DJ Lilanva is going to drop the healing beat! Marvellous. Thank you. But I'd rather never encounter that thing ever again. I'm afraid it's very likely that we will. Will you one day not say that? Just please once, Rune. I'm afraid I'm not going to lie to you. I've known you too long to do that. We're going to have to use the medallion somewhere. Not here, not here. Here's where we use it. And I imagine, yep, more foes. In this case, Minotaurs. We need to find these Minotaurs and be very cautious in not getting surrounded by them. Not here, or here, or anywhere that I can see. But there are more of these. Right, which way do we want to go? Well, which ways are available? Quite a few by the looks of it. Let's go straight. Always a good idea. And that leads to goodies. I like getting goodies. Let's see what we have. Arrows +2. You don't mind if I hold on to them, do you? Not at all. It's a good idea to spread out our resources as much as possible. And we have some armor by the looks of it too. Chainmail. Let's see how effective it is. Armor class -3. It's exactly the same as this plate mail +2, which means it might be, yep, slightly better than what Ishan is using. And I imagine this armor is a little better than what Delmare is using. As for all of these, we have a bow and a longsword. We could identify this longsword and see just what it does. The answer is, it's a longsword +3. Not a bad item to have at all. And all of our spells are starting to fade, so it's a good idea to rest, because while the party doesn't know it, we know what that creature that we encountered is. It's a creature that is usually invisible. A good reason why Delmare has never seen one before, because typically they're not able to be seen. We'd rather know what threats we're walking into, so having True Seeing active or Detect Invisibility is a good plan. We do have Detect Invisibility if True Seeing happens to fade while we're using it. And we'll get a spiritual hammer ready, and then 1 True Seeing. Always a good idea to have 2 spiritual hammer spells, just in case one runs out and you're still in combat. I think we'll just go this way and move forward. I pretty much figured out how those holes in the woodland work. They just take you in the direction that you're heading. If you take the middle one, it takes you directly in one direction. If you take one of the side ones, it takes you in a diagonal. And I accidentally hit the woodland there. There could be Minotaurs anywhere here. Then let us head up here and eliminate paths that do not have them. Like this one. Alright, that's 1 down. Why don't we have a look over to the east next? It's as good a suggestion as any. Still no Minotaurs. Well, there's a Minotaur. I spoke way too soon. That you did. But they were easy enough to get rid of. And here are the remains of a poor adventurer. A necklace. It does have some minor magic to it. Then I shall wear it. A 2-handed blade, also magical. And some armor, also magical. Equal to Lalanva's armor, which means that it is equal to this armor. So we can give this chain over to Delmare, and Delmare has even more protection, and a wand of Cone of Cold. Now that is a powerful prize indeed. Let us back up, because we don't want to go too far in any one direction, in case we get to a point of no return, and happen to miss any goodies. Always a good idea to explore places thoroughly. So, I think we want to make sure that we don't get defeated by that Minotaur. Marvellous, and I think we'll head this way, down to the south. Oh dear. Well, that's not encouraging. We'll stay here and we'll fight. And deal with all of the Minotaurs, because they just keep coming. If in doubt, throw loads of threats at your party and see if any of them manage to do anything. Considering how high level we are, and considering that 5 of the 6 people in the group are actually doing damage at any one time, we're not in any serious trouble. We have, of course, encountered the Minotaurs in Dungeon Hack, and they were primarily heavy hitters. They just hit really hard. We don't need to worry about enemies that hit really hard. We need more to worry about enemies that have unique things to them. And here's a bunch of stuff that isn't magical, like just normal arrows that we will stockpile here. And some other things. It just looks like a pile of food. Perhaps this is all of the food that the Minotaurs have stockpiled. It may be. It can't hurt to carry a few of them. You never know when we might enter an area where magic does not function. Indeed. It's always good to be cautious. Let's keep exploring and see what else we can find. What we can find is an area that appears to be full of these holes in the woodland. Let us save before we decide to go into any of these, because who knows where this will lead to. The answer is, it's going to lead to even more of these. And that's not encouraging. Well, we may be lost. What does your keen tracking senses tell you, Delmare? It tells me that we should press forward and be very, very wary. You didn't need tracking senses to know that. Now, let's just step forward and see what we'll find. The answer is we're going to find absolutely loads of foes. Let's just attack all of them. Oh, this is possibly the worst place that we could be. Delmare gained a level, though, and Sandstar took a hit. Let's hope that exploring this area is worth it, because it was worth it. But was that a lot of foes. We attacked 14 times there to deal with all of them. But I think it was worth it, because look at all of the goodies in that corner there. Definitely worth it. Is everyone all right? I'm fine, just very concerned. What's all of this? A ring of wizardry. Oh, we are lucky, my friends. Rings of wizardry are powerful things indeed. What do they do exactly? They bolster your ability to use magic, and are invaluable. We need to make room. I could drop one of the many clubs that we have. A good idea. I must wear this. Let's see what it does for rune spells. The answer is, if we go back, look at all of the spells that Rune can cast. He can cast 8 4th level spells. I think a few more Cones of Cold and some Hold Monster and one Wall of Force. That seems pretty good. That is a fine item. We have a Wand of Magic Missile. We really haven't been using wands very much, but we can hold on to this one. There is a set of Thieves' Tools. A set of leather armor. Is this better than what I'm currently using? No, it's not. A shame. No use for that. Gauntlets of Fire Giant Strength, though. Oh my! Strength 1877. Strength 22. I feel far stronger than I ever have before. Truly, these are powerful, powerful items that we found. It makes you wonder what kind of party succumbed with all of those powerful things. Like I've been saying, just because you're powerful doesn't mean to say you're not vulnerable. You need to be very, very careful. Anywhere you go. Indeed. It's a good time to save. A very good time to save after finding all of those goodies. Let's see about getting out of here. There are loads of ways that we can go. Loads of ways. Let us, go this way. Why not? And I think constantly heading southish? Maybe? It's worth a go. We're just generally looking around and hoping that we find the way out, because I've got no idea. This is quite a maze indeed, though we cannot go southeast anymore. We can go east, though, and east again, and east again, and it leads to a clearing. Have we finally got out of here? I believe we may have. Oh, you don't know how happy I am to hear that. As you emerge from the forest into a small clearing, the ghostly form of a man appears from nowhere to confront you. Well, 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 I see the defilers of the forest have finally come to carve out its heart. Tell me, why should I not wither you away to nothingness as you have done to so many parts of my forest? We don't want trouble. We seek a way into the city. Petty fools! What do you think you can do against the evil in Myth Drannor? Better heroes than you have tried their skill at banishing the evil, and they have paid with their lives. I do know the way to the city, but I don't think you are quite worthy of that information. Maybe I should let my children just rip you limb from limb. No, that's quite all right. You really shouldn't do that. Look, we don't see any need for confrontation. We do apologize for cutting down these trees, but for the greater good. We must reach the ruined city. If you really have been around for so long, why don't you share some of your lore? Perhaps with your knowledge and our might, we can restore the forest and Myth Drannor together. Grudgingly, the old man begins to speak. I suppose it would do little harm to tell you of the history of Myth Drannor. Once long ago, Myth Drannor was an elven camp, a community of large inhabited trees, of clear springs and pools. Later it became an elven city, a place of needle-sharp spires of growing hollow wood, linked by treacherous suspension spans that were either railless wooden arches or precarious running ropes. The city grew in size and might with the elven communities of the Western Dragon Reach over some 2,000 years, until humans first came to the north shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars. The king of the elves invited all the races, humans, elves, dwarfs, halflings, and gnomes, to come and live in harmony. Together, they could build up the defences of the city so that the goblin kin races would not be a threat. A noble goal indeed. But I take it did not entirely work. Myth Drannor earned the name the Towers of Beauty among bards, and as the years passed and happiness reigned over all, the elves gave it the name the City of Love, in celebration of the peace and contentment enjoyed by all the races of Faerun. Yet the gods grew restless, and all things change under their hands. Greatness is always hurled down in the end. So it was with Myth Drannor, as with all great cities. The downfall of Myth Drannor began with the arrival of the creatures from the outer planes. They joined with the goblin races and overran Myth Drannor. The armies from the Shadow Realm were so numerous that for every 100 foes dispatched by the city's defenders, 1,000 more took their place. Evacuation of the city became necessary, and most of the inhabitants of the city escaped, thanks to the devotion of the defenders. One defender in particular, Captain Flar, was especially heroic. He slew many of the shadow beasts with a sword that burned with a blue fire. Unfortunately for us, he fell that day, and we buried him with honours in the warrior's tomb. He will always be remembered by the children of those he saved. That sword sounds very familiar. We have encountered the ghost of Captain Flar. We put him to rest. That is good to hear. I too died on that fateful day, but my love for this forest and Myth Drannor kept me alive in spirit. I will protect this forest until the end of time. Perhaps, if you are truly worthy, and you restore Myth Drannor, I will at last find my rest. Know that Myth Drannor and I are one, and that I alone dictate whether or not you reach the ruins. If you pass my test, I will show you the path to the ruins of our great city. We will gladly take your test. The test is a simple one. Have one member of your party choose one of my books to read. Choose carefully, for all of the books are beneficial, and all of the books are harmful. Choose wisely, and you will be rewarded. Choose poorly, and you will feel Myth Drannor's wrath. Select a character who will read one of the sage's books, or press the escape key to cancel. When we come back, folks, we will leave it on this cliffhanger. Who will read? And what will they read? And will it ultimately help the party? Who can say? All I can say is, we may be in some bother because we don't want any of our party to die. It could happen, though, if we pick the wrong thing. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.